Welcome back to ADK Talks, your insider's guide to the 6 million acre holiday playground we call home. Today, we're talking about the holiday season in the Adirondacks and our top tips for making the most of it. We're going to talk about some great cozy food stops, hyper-local shopping, unique events, New Year's celebrations, and other hidden gem traditions. So welcome aboard the Holiday Express via ADK Talks.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! I'm Jane, and I'm here with my brother Steve, my co-host. Say hi, Steve.
Hi.
And we're going to do a little tour around the Adirondacks and share with folks some of our recommended things to do in the winter months, or especially over the holiday season. You know, a couple of the ski places are already open, so there's that kind of stuff to do. But this time of year, a lot of people sometimes write in and ask us, hey, we're coming for Christmas, we're coming for New Year's, we're coming for Martin Luther King weekend. What is there to do? And the short answer is plenty. In fact, we probably can't cover it all in one podcast, but we're going to do a little potpourri of places in the different regions of the Adirondacks, starting with the central Adirondacks, which is probably the heart of the Adirondacks and the biggest chunk of it, mostly made up of Hamilton County, which I think is, Steve, you're going to know this, maybe the fourth largest county in New York State. It's one of the biggest counties.
Geographically, I think it's
not number one.
But it's a big one. It's one of the least populated.
It is the least populated. And it's, comprised of towns like Blue Mountain Lake, Indian Lake, all the way over to Old Forge and Inlet, which are sort of on the western part of the Adirondacks, just north of Utica, New York. So that's where we're going to start. And Steve, what's one of your favorite places to shop in the central Adirondacks?
If you're in the vicinity, I would say Old Forge Hardware.
100%.
Got everything you need, everything you're looking for, and if they don't have it, you don't need it.
Exactly right. I was there last summer, and they literally had an aisle almost completely dedicated to cookie cutters. Every shape,
Yes.
Everything you could imagine. It was, so don't be fooled by the words hardware store. It's variety.
Cookie cutters are hardware for the cooking industry.
That's true. Good point. It's sprawling too.
Yes, it's amazing. And I would highly recommend the gigantic book section.
Yeah.
Secretly one of the best curated in the ADKs.
That's true too. It's right in the heart of Old Forge. It's actually several buildings that they've acquired over time. They've been around for, I think, 125 years. And it's survived floods and fires and just continues to grow. It's very popular. I was there this summer and it was pretty packed. So you can expect that, but definitely worth a visit, and you could spend hours there. It's really fun. I love that place.
Yeah, it's a great snow day, rainy day kind of place to visit. Even on a sunny day it is, but people tend to want to be outside on the sunnier days. And
as long as we're talking retail, just up the road in Inlet, we discovered the Fulton Chain Supply Company this summer as well. It's great for unique and practical gifts. It's got this really nice vibe, cozy vibe. The owners curated some really special products, clothing, candles, other stuff, and it's definitely worth a stop, and you'll find something you like there for sure. So I highly recommend that as well.
Jane, what else is good? Even though the museum is closed, but the Adirondack Museum in Blue Mountain Lake has an amazing gift shop.
Yes.
And it's open. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're open. I think they're open for several weekends this year, starting on Black Friday. So check out adktaste.com to see specific days and times. It's listed under our events section. Or you could also visit adkx.org and find out for yourself. But beautiful stuff. It's big. They've got a lot of stuff from local artists, handmade ornaments, nice prints. Are you going to drop some trivia on me right now?
I was going to try to, but I think you've already ruined it on me.
Go ahead.
The campus of the museum was used to be known as Blue Mountain House.
That's right.
A resort property that sits above Blue Mountain Lake with amazing views. And back in the day, there was a steamship that brought you to it.
Right.
From the other end of the lake. They take the train, get off the train, get on. Actually, probably had to get on a couple of steamships and trains to make this whole trip from New York. But if you were headed there, that's where you'd end up.
That's right. We've talked about that a lot. Just how inaccessible the Adirondacks were for many, many years, and maybe not inaccessible, but it was a journey. It took you, as you just described, it would take people, planes, trains, and automobiles of the day just to get up here. And when the museum is open, they had this really cool, it's kind of like a diorama. I don't know how you'd call it, but it literally shows, this little tiny train coming in, and then people boarding the steamship, and then that goes across, I think, Racket Lake or up through that chain of lakes in the central Adirondacks. Then people had to get off, take another train that was like only a quarter of a mile, and then get on another boat. So it was crazy.
Don't they have one of those little steamships actually on display there?
I think they do.
They have a boat. I think it was whether it was one on Racket or Blue Mountain, I'm not 100% certain. But
as you mentioned, you're right. The one of the parts of the original property, the log hotel, is still there. You can see what it was like to stay in an Adirondack rustic hotel in the late 1800s, early 1900s. But you can't see that now, but you can shop. And as long as you're up there, we always love to talk about the Blue Mountain Diner, which is just down the road from the Adirondack Museum, or ADKX. There's not a lot of places to eat in that region. And so Chef Daryl's, as far as I'm concerned, has been a great addition. It's really cool, fun experience. It's cozy, has a classic, diner vibe. And they have fantastic homemade pie.
Someone's going to drag you out to shop. You might as well get a piece of pie out of the trip.
That's right. That's exactly right. Also not far from Blue Mountain Lake is Indian Lake Theater. They are showing a ton of holiday classics this year. And the thing about the Indian Lake Theater is that it's community run. It's an old time classic small town theater that was run by the same family, I think, for over 75 years. And when they closed, the community really felt the gap. So they rallied together, and now it's back. And they show movies. They show great movies, and also have live performances there. So that's a good spring, summer, winter, fall. That's a great option for something to do, again, on a rainy day. And in December, on select nights, they'll be showing movies like White Christmas with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, all-time holiday favorite Elf with Will Ferrell.
Scrooge? Do they show Scrooged?
I don't know if they're showing Scrooge this year.
We got to make a recommendation. That's the best Christmas movie ever.
I know it's your favorite. I don't know that it's mine. And they're going to do a live performance. The Gem Radio Theater performers are going to do Sherlock Holmes the night before Christmas. And it's kind of fun because you get to see what it might have been like to be in the audience during a radio show during the 30s and 40s. And they have the Foley artist that makes all the sound effects. It's really, really a good time. It's entertaining. And while you're there, don't miss their amazing fresh popped popcorn. It's worth it to go to the movies just for the popcorn, in my opinion. With real butter, it's definitely a treat.
It's local. Well, comes from the steward shop locally, so that aspect's local.
That's true.
Cows are local to Saratoga, which isn't far away.
It's still New York State made, which we're in favor of as well.
Starting this week, coming up, it's a holiday match.
Oh, you always talk about
little
that.
Box next to the cashier. I always like to drop my spare change into that. They truly appreciate it, and it's a neat thing. It's a neat way to donate to the local charitable groups, because Stewart's is really
Yeah.
good about spreading that money around. You can go on their website and they'll tell you who they've donated to, and they match everything that goes in that box.
And it stays local.
Yeah.
There are a lot of really worthy causes out there, but I know that for me personally, I'm trying to refocus and really think about any charitable giving I do, or the charitable giving I do, because I do it. I really am trying to hone in on, places where the money's going to stay right here and help the people right here in the state of New York, and especially in the Adirondacks.
We also have stores in Vermont, and it goes there as well. So
exactly, and you said it before. They're one of the biggest buyers of milk from New York family farms. So when you shop at stores, when you buy their butter, their eggs, their milk, you're supporting local farmers that have been here for generations. So that's always a feel-good thing too. And it's great milk. It's great eggs. It's worth the trip.
Always was, especially when the boys were younger, went through milk a lot more quickly, but their milk stayed fresher so much longer than the stuff we'd get at a grocery store.
Really?
Yeah, the shelf life in your refrigerators seemed like twice as long. Having had to grow up with a smell test for every carton of milk you open, it's a lot more reassuring.
I do that. I don't know why I do that, but every time I open the milk container, our parents, I know, I always give it the sniff test, even if it's almond milk or something like a milk substitute. I do that too. Okay. How about we drift southeast a little from the central Adirondacks and head on over to North Creek and the Schroon Lake region. Again, this is also a great spot in the Adirondacks for that mix of outdoor recreation, small town charm, and wow, I didn't know this place existed kind of discoveries. What are you thinking? Where would you tell people to go this time of year, or over the holidays in Gore Mountain?
There's Gore Mountain.
There you go. I swear to God, I wasn't trying to prompt you on that. There
is both downhill and cross-country skiing, and of course the ski bowl as well. So Gore is one of those places where you can actually get a very long, for an eastern ski area, you get good length of trails, great selection of trails. Growing up, it was the premier, really, intermediate hill. If you were an intermediate skier, that Gore had more terrain than you'd find anywhere. And they've kept their lift ticket reasonable in relative terms to what people pay for lift tickets nowadays. I can remember back when Killington raised their lift ticket price to $20 and thought that was the end of the world. So that's give you an idea how long we were skiing, how long ago we started skiing. But the ticket at Gore is affordable, but get it ahead of time. Buy it online ahead of time because they do sell out.
Yeah.
For cross-country skiing is more your thing. They can take care of that too. It's quite nice.
You bring up a really good point about getting your tickets online, because that, in the days when our whole family was skiing together, I don't think anybody ever limited the number of tickets, which often meant really, really long lift lines. But now you can get your tickets online. And the other thing I would tell you, especially if you're planning to come up here and ski over the holiday weekends, or even into January and February, if you're planning on doing that this year and you plan to rent your ski equipment, you need to do that in advance. We have our own stuff, but I've had friends who are coming up with their kids and were, out of luck when it came to renting ski equipment. So that's just a little pro tip for those of you contemplating a ski vacation up here. And Gore's open already, just on weekends. We're going to have a real cold snap over Thanksgiving. So I'm sure they'll be making snow, which I like to also mention they do in a environmentally conscious and sustainable way. So, hopefully we're looking at a good ski season this year at Gore.
Yeah, it looks like the old lake effect snow machine is going to be firing up over the weekend. And Gore doesn't get a lot of snow from lake effect, but it can pick up quite a bit when the winds are just right. And it looks like the winds might be just right for Gore to be seeing.
That's probably great news for some of the smaller independently owned places like Snow Ridge over in Turin, which is on the Tug Hill Plateau.
Even Tupper will get a nice, when the wind is directly from the west, they'll
Yeah.
get a, I was in Malone once and went to bed and got up in the morning, had to clean off my car, and I actually had to get a shovel
Jiminy crickets.
from the hotel desk because I had parked upwind from a minivan, and the lake effect snow was blowing so hard it was hitting the minivan and just kept piling up between the two vehicles. It was rather inconvenient, but
Wow.
a lesson learned.
You said Tupper. Did you mean Titus Mountain up in Malone?
Did I say Tupper? I did say Tupper, didn't I? No, Titus, right. I was in Malone. Yeah.
Yeah, Titus Mountain, home of the ski cabana. And you'll have to go to their website to look that up. There's some great places for little après ski at Beck's Tavern near Gore. They've got a pretty cool setup there with some yurts. Yurt. For those of you that don't know what a yurt is, it's a big circular tent that's, I think, from, originates in Asia, maybe. I think of Mongolia or someplace like that. Also, Basil and Wicks, which is kind of a roadhouse place that's been operating off and on for many, many years, is going to be open for the winter season. They've been closed. Yeah, this is a little inside baseball listener, but the folks that run O.P. Fredericks, which is now called the Loon, right on Loon Lake, are doing some renovations, and so they are temporarily located in Basil and Wicks, which helps everybody out because that area does need some more restaurants and stuff there, especially with all the crowds that come into Gore. So that's a great place. Also, in North Creek, which is the little town next to Gore, there's the Tannery Pond Center, a great local spot for performances. There's always something going on there, a musical or a play, or they have a gallery with art exhibits. So definitely, if you're in town, you can check that out. The local Irish musical favorite, the McCrells, are giving a Christmas concert. And
oh, really?
Yeah,
wow.
and the North,
they're full of surprises today.
And the North Country Jazz Project is going to be there too.
Oh, cool.
And again, you can get your tickets online. And Tannery Pond Center is open all year round. And I've been really kind of impressed with their programming.
One more thing we should mention is the ski bowl, which is on Gore Mountain itself, and the site of the original ski area is one of the oldest in the United States. It was opened in 1934. The snow train would come up, bring skiers up from Schenectady, and Schenectady Sports Club, I think it was, that sponsored it initially, or somebody out of GE. And they would actually bring people. At the first year, I think you had to ride a pickup truck.
Yeah, huge dump trucks. They would put people in the back of hundreds of people and would go up and down that mountain. It's called Ride Up, Ski Down.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of controversy over this, but the first organized ski patrol was at Gore, which is now the North Creek Ski Bowl. So the original Gore Mountain was where the North Creek Ski Bowl is, which they just had a big renovation in their facilities. Great spot for cross-country skiing at night, too.
Do they still have tubing there?
I don't think so. I could be wrong. You can now get from Big Gore to the North Creek Ski Bowl. They're connected. It's not exactly, it's kind of a little bit of a trek, but you can do it.
But don't get stuck down there.
Yeah, don't get stuck down there for sure.
Don't be the guy with the car keys who gets stuck at the ski bowl.
Yeah.
Can't get back to drive everyone down.
All right, let's keep going because we got a lot to get through.
Oh, Janie, we haven't mentioned Toad Hill Maple Farm in Thurman.
Oh, I love that place.
Maple cream and maple syrup and maple candy and maple cotton candy.
Yeah, Toad Hill is a great spot. You can find their stuff in places like the Crossroads and other places around the Adirondacks. But it's fun to go and see where the syrup is made and visit their shop. And it's a nice little drive out to Thurman, too. It's really pretty. That's a great call. I would also say if you're going to be in that area, I love Main Street ice cream and boutique. And Main Street ice cream is a little bit of a misnomer because it's a lot more than just ice cream. It's one of my favorite spots for lunch or breakfast. Everything is freshly made. Again, we were talking about pies before. They have great homemade pies. And on the second floor, it's a great place for gift shopping. I'm really always surprised at how much stuff they can put into that shop. But I frequently go there for, gifts for my mother, baby gifts for me. And it's a great spot. A lot of people, it's funny because it's in Chestertown. We're in Chestertown. And a lot of times people will say, oh, where's Chestertown? And I'll explain. I'm like, the Main Street Income ice cream. Oh, we love that place. And I'm like,
Right.
It's funny. And Chestertown has a lot of other little shops too. I would say there's a place called Hometown Charm. There's a really beautiful gallery with work by local artists called Birds of a Feather. Panther Mountain Trading is great. They have great stuff too. So
Don't forget Crossroads.
Oh, and the Crossroads. Talk about another place that if they don't have it, you don't need it. We love the Crossroads. So if you're in the area, Chestertown has lots of great options for you. Where would you recommend people stay, Steve?
Well, as you know, there are a multitude of places, but one of those that's a little unique than the others. How about the Ridin-Hy Ranch?
Oh, yeah.
A little Western theme, fun, sleigh rides, indoor pool, horseback riding.
Yeah, it's like a dude ranch right in the Adirondacks. In fact, they were recently profiled by none other than the New York Times. And it's I didn't realize until I read the article that they're actually open in the winter and there's a lot to do there in the winter. So, they've been providing, as you said, family fun since the 1940s.
1940s. Yeah, I hadn't realized they'd been there that long until I went to the exhibit at the Bolton Museum that featured the advertising of the 50s and 60s of Lake George region, and there was one of their old adverts on the wall. I was like, oh, it's still around. Wow.
Also in the area is the town of Schroon Lake. Definitely worth a visit. Again, these are places that are a little bit south and east, just above Lake George or near Lake George. And I'm shocked at how few people know about the town of Schroon Lake. The lake is beautiful. It's 9 miles long, really, really scenic. We've had them on the podcast, the Schroon Lake department store, which is a very special place. I did a bunch of gift shopping there last year. Great for everything from lovely kitchen supplies and linens to winter gear, high quality stocking stuffers, candy. They have got an old time candy that you may not have seen in years, and they've got it. But it's a great place to shop. Just nearby is Pinecone Mercantile, which is also a lovely home decor store and a really good bakery too.
Donuts.
I don't know that they have donuts, but they've got great pastry.
They used to have donuts. They don't have donuts anymore?
Maybe. I don't know. They sell out quick.
Yes, they do.
But, definitely. And that's another place you can order ahead. Just look on their website or Facebook page. And as long as you're there, have lunch at Pitkin's, which is one of my favorite stops for great comfort food, super friendly staff. It's always really good.
And Jane, don't forget the pie.
I was just about to say, I was just in there the other day because I take my little doggy up there for grooming just outside of Schroon Lake at Adirondack Dog Grooming. And I usually schedule it at a time so I can have a late breakfast or lunch. At Pitkin's, I'm strategic. And they were taking orders for Thanksgiving and Christmas pies while I was in there. So, and they got their peanut butter pie. Oh my gosh. So good. All right, so let's head north.
Are we going to go up the Northway or Route 9?
I don't know, Steve. I'm not wherever Waze tells me to go
Oh,
when I'm going to Lake Placid, Tupper Lake, Saranac Lake, sometimes known as the Tri-Lakes, right? Part of the High Peaks area. And this might be the epicenter of kind of Adirondack holiday magic. What do you think, Steve, what would you advise somebody to do? Let's start with Lake Placid.
I've always enjoyed just walking around the lake, just walking around Mirror Lake. It's fairly level. It's somewhat solitary except for all the other people walking around the lake.
And the path is paved. Do they plow that in the winter?
I think it probably is. I don't recall having an issue, but it's really nice at dusk.
Sort of that golden hour.
Yeah, and it, depending on where you start, you get halfway around. Is the boathouse still open? It's directly across from us.
I don't know.
They used to be able to pop in there and have a glass of wine or something at dusk. It's always.
Are you talking about the cottage at Mirror Lake Inn?
No, the boathouse. The cottage is good too. I was going to suggest that as well, depending on where you start.
Right, directly on Mirror Lake. And listener, just so you know, Lake Placid Village, when you're there, you're actually looking at Mirror Lake, not Lake Placid itself. It's kind of like a weird phenomenon. Saranac Lake, the village of Saranac Lake is actually on Lake Flower. Tupper Lake's on, I think, Saranac Pond it's called. So a little quirk of some Adirondack names for you. But that walk around Mirror Lake, that's a great idea. And if you're looking for other things to stroll, the Lake Placid Holiday Stroll takes place December 12th through 14th. And they got a parade, carolers, lots of shopping and family fun activities. I think there's a skating party, tree lighting, just a great, lovely event to really get you in the holiday spirit. And we have more details about that on adktaste.com. And before you ask, as you always do, Steve, we will have links to all the stuff that we're talking about in the show notes.
What a surprise.
What a surprise. And you can, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, which most people are, in the show notes right in the app, there should be links to all this stuff, or you can go to our website, to our podcast page, and get the show notes there.
Will there be a link as well, Jane, to Santa Sunday at Whiteface?
Oh, you know it.
It's coinciding that very same weekend?
Exactly. Steve, tell the listeners about Santa Sunday.
Oh, this is an annual event. Anyone wearing a full Santa or Mrs. Claus suit can ski or snowboard for free.
That's so great.
I wish I was still in college. I would have a field day with that one. Participants gather for a group photo and a group run down the Excelsior Trail at the top of Little Whiteface at 11 a.m. so everyone can get their picture and their promotional material the next year. It's fun.
It is fun. And I've never done it, but I love the pictures from it. Seeing all these all day long, groups of Santas roaming around Whiteface. It's really something.
Santa gangs.
The Santa gangs. It's really something to see. There's also ice skating in Lake Placid. There's on the speed skating oval, which was the original oval that they used definitely in the 1932 Olympics. I don't know if they used it in the 1980. They might have.
I believe they did.
And it's one of the few remaining outdoor Olympic speed skating tracks in the world. So you can actually skate on that oval where, Olympic champions of yore skated as well. For dates and times, because they also have events there, check out lakeplacidolympiccenter.com or just Google Lake Placid Skating for current dates and times. There's also indoor skating there as well. So if the weather's inclement, you can always, when they have it, you can skate indoors with the whole family.
They'll have hockey tournaments there as well. And
yeah,
you might be able to catch a hockey game.
Yeah.
College games.
Yeah, definitely. This is coming out after Thanksgiving, but there's like the Adirondack Invitational over Thanksgiving weekend, which is, top Division I teams, college D1 pitting against each other. The ECAC is also, their championship is held in Lake Placid frequently. So again, another opportunity. Let's move over to Saranac Lake, because Lake Placid, we've given you a lot of airtime.
The first thing that comes to mind, and I know, but people are thinking about New Year's already, is the North Country New Year.
Oh, yeah.
Live music, a lot of community venues, a lot of stuff going on, fireworks at night. But the key thing is something they do that we used to do as well, and that's the early New Year countdown.
Yeah.
So you can get your little ones thinking they stayed up till New Year's Eve, up to midnight, off to bed. I think it's not as easy since the kids are introduced to cell phones so soon. The clock is a lot more readily available, but
yeah, that's a great sort of first night event. That's awesome. And I don't know if you mentioned it, but awesome fireworks.
Yeah.
What else can you do in Saranac Lake?
Shopping.
There's always shopping.
More shopping. My wife likes to shop, so you can see. If I can't get a piece of pie or a beer out of it, it's not worth it for me. But
there's a couple good places for you to sit down on the boyfriend bench and have a nice cold beer. Bitters and Bones is a great place to stop in.
And they got some nice little stores. I got to admit, I don't hate it.
Or you can go to your favorite hotel lobby at Hotel Saranac and visit all your ghost friends.
Ghost friends. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's funny. I was thinking about that the other day.
Well, we're not going to go into it too deeply, but check out some of our past episodes, especially the one with the Adirondack Paranormal Society that actually went to the Saranac, was invited by the Hotel Saranac when they were going through some major renovations to spend a couple nights there and see what they could detect. So that's a really good tale. We'll have a link to that in the show notes.
That was fun. We got to talk to them again.
Yes, definitely. They're on my list.
Yeah, they wanted to know what room number I stayed in. I don't remember what room number I stayed in, but I did mention being in a certain part of the hotel, and they then quizzed me at where I was in that room, and I apparently passed it because I said I was in a spot where they get the most activity. So, anyways, tune into that one, folks. You might find it interesting.
Yeah. And actually, we will forewarn you, it's one of our longest episodes, but it's still getting lots of downloads. So definitely check that out. And shopping on Main Street in Saranac Lake. Here's the thing. All these places that we're mentioning, you're going to be supporting not only just local business, but often local craftspeople and artisans. A lot of times, things like great candles or pottery or handmade ornaments or sweaters are made right here by craftspeople. There are two really nice fine art galleries in Saranac Lake that feature local artists, and I'm always just so impressed by the amazing talent that's resident here. So definitely check that out. There's a great bookstore in Saranac Lake, so there's no shortage of great places to shop in Saranac Lake. We're not going to get too deep into it in this episode, maybe in another one, but Keene Valley, which many people will pass through on your way to Lake Placid or Saranac Lake, also great places. And one of my favorite places is the Noon Mark Diner. And I know we keep talking about pie, but their pies are a must get for your holiday table. Their pies all year round. Every time I'm in there, I'm always just so amazed at people go into that place, have breakfast or lunch. They serve breakfast all day. Everything's homemade. And then they walk out with 6 pies. I'm like, who are you feeding with all 6 of those pies? But you can order in advance, and definitely you're going to want to get more than one.
All these places we recommend their pies. These are good pies. These aren't pies you buy in a grocery store or supermarket or even a commercial bakery. These are pies. Our grandmother made the best pie crust in the history of pie making. And
she sure did.
Some of these people rival that or are very close. If we say the pie is good, the pie is good. You might not like the recipe for the fillings, but the pie is good.
Let's hop on over to Tupper Lake. And I love Tupper Lake. It's got so much that is going on that's positive there. And this it was this summer they announced that the old Big Tupper ski place has been sold and is going to be developed. So I'm keeping my eye on that. But you can go the Wild Center in Tupper Lake, which I believe we've talked about before. They have this incredible light installation along their trails. It's really beautiful. It's this immersive experience, really cool lights and music at night. And I think it goes up through President's Day weekend. It starts the Friday after Thanksgiving, and it's definitely worth a trip. It's not cheesy. Don't think, just not dancing Santas and stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with the dancing Santa. It's really cool. It's very, very cool.
We've gone from skiing Santas to dancing Santas.
Exactly. And if you go, I would highly recommend making a reservation for dinner at the Woodshed in Tupper Lake. Really fantastic food. We've been there a couple of times. And the Adirondack store right in downtown Tupper Lake.
Oh, right.
Has so the Adirondack stores, I think the original one is in Lake Placid, and that's worth a visit. They have different stuff at the store in Tupper Lake, and they actually have an outpost in New Canaan, Connecticut. But that's a really great place to shop and find decor items. Okay, so now that we've covered the central Adirondacks, the Gore Mountain and Schroon Lake region, and the Tri-Lakes region, let's move on over to the Lake Champlain region and the Adirondack coast, and Lake George in the southern Adirondacks. So, Steve, where should we start?
Well, with the Lake Champlain region, I'm thinking Rolf's Orchard, maybe?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Donuts. We gotta have the donuts. Cider.
Cider donuts, your favorite.
They do a nice winter market with a lot of gifts. Apples. They have apples in storage that are still farm fresh. And it's been a family farm since 1952, so they've been around quite a long time.
Yeah. They've got a great petting zoo. I don't know if it's open in the winter, but definitely in the fall. I think they do have something. And it has a little cafe. You can go up there and have lunch, and it's a really pretty drive through that part of the Adirondacks. Another place I would mention, if you're thinking of staying up in that area, check out New Vita Preserve. We've mentioned them before, too. It's the former home of the Paleface ski area, and a family has bought it and has just really breathed new life in it. You still kind of get the cool mid-century modern vibe, but they have trails for walking and hiking. From their dining room, you have a magnificent view of Whiteface Mountain. Great restaurant. I've been there. I stayed there. I've been there a couple of times for dinner and brunch. It's excellent. They have a whole wellness thing going on with yoga. So that's a really good place to stay in that area. Let's hop on over to Ticonderoga. They have a bunch of different events over the holiday weekend, so definitely check those out. I am a big fan. We've mentioned it before. The Star Trek original series set tour in Ticonderoga. And this is a great time of year to go check that out. If you're a Trekkie person or not, it's very, very interesting and kind of really amazing. It's William Cawley, the man who created it, came into possession of the original blueprints for the set for the Star Trek series, which people may or may not know was filmed in Desilu Studios. So Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball's studios. And they have painstakingly recreated the sets. It's not scaled down. It's just like the actual sets. And you go, it's a guided tour, which is good because they tell you what you're looking at, because I think you'd miss so much if you didn't have that. And frequently throughout the year, they have former Star Trek actors and actresses. They just had William Shatner
last weekend.
And he comes up twice a year. I mean, the guy is like 90 something, and it's a really, really big deal.
Sells out every time.
It's just a really cool thing. They also have, I don't know if it's the original. Well, it was a cartoon, so it can't be the original, but they've got the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo and the Batmobile.
Na.
Exactly. Something for everybody in the family.
Nothing says Christmas more than the bridge of the Starship Enterprise, the Mystery Machine, and the Batmobile.
And tribbles.
And tribbles. You got to get a tribble.
You know, Steve, the solstice, right? The first day of winter is right before Christmas. Is there anything to do that's
21st.
You can do if you're a pagan and you want to acknowledge the solstice?
You know, there is the luminary walk in Wadhams. Little candles and bags lining the trail. You walk through it. The solstice sings to your heart. If you're the timing's right, you might even see some northern lights, little aurora going on there too. But it's a extremely pleasant evening for the shortest day of the year.
Yeah, it is really neat. I love these paths are lit with luminaria, which as Steve described is, candles that sit in bags. And it's just a really special thing. And Wadhams, which may not be a name familiar to many of you, it's just slightly south and west of Essex, New York. But it's a really cool thing to visit.
Yeah, Boquet River runs through it. It's a quaint little village.
We should have mentioned this back when we were talking about the Star Trek tour, but the Festival of Trees at Hancock House in Ticonderoga is a really fun thing to go and see. It's a historic mansion, 4 stories, decorated for the holidays, and lots of different trees. And, if you're looking for inspiration and you're just a big fan of Christmas trees, that's a great thing to do as well.
Don't forget about the cookies, Jay.
Yeah, Cookies and Christmas in Ticonderoga. This is a new event they're going to have in downtown Ticonderoga. I think it's taking place the 19th of December. It's a cookie trail, a little passport that you can pick up and go to all the different stops, the different shops that'll have cookies for the kids. It's really meant just for the kids. But Santa's going to be around. You can see some other cool stuff. And again, it's another one of these cute little charming Adirondack towns. And if you're also interested in the arts, we highly recommend that you check out the Mill in Westport. There's a lot going on there in terms of art installations, concerts, holiday gatherings. It's a really interesting institution in Westport, New York. In fact, they're going to be on the podcast in a couple of weeks, and we're going to talk more about that. And then there's the holiday market in Waylandsburg. So that takes place at the East Branch Community Center. These are all things, I just want to mention this, that are happening. I think this episode's going to come out on December 12th. So the things that we're mentioning are all happening after the 12th of December. So again, check our show notes for dates and times and the other links.
What would that link be? ADK Taste?
ADKTaste.com. In
case someone's driving, they haven't written it down yet.
All right, where are we off to next, Steve?
All right. I guess we're going to wrap things up with head a little further south. Beautiful Lake George Village, Bolton Landing, Warrensburg, Fort Anne, the whole area. There'll be holiday celebrations, fireworks, cruises, polar plunges, local distilleries, and they know how to finish the year off with a bang.
I'll start. One of my favorite places in the region is the Hitching Post that's operated and owned by the folks at Nettle Meadow Farms, which makes incredible award-winning cheese. The farm actually is in Thurman. We were talking about Toad Hill in the first part of this. The farm, which you can visit and see their little happy animals. And they have a small shop there, farm stand shop, to pick up their cheeses. They literally are internationally recognized. If you're in the New York City area, you can pick up their cheeses at Murray's Cheese. The Kunik, which is their signature cheese, is just incredible. And then they purchased the Hitching Post in Lake Luzerne, and partly so I think they could expand their cheese making capabilities, but it also has a great dining room. And you can go there for lunch or brunch or an early dinner. Great cheese, local beers, craft beers, great wines. Really a gem of a place. Lake Luzerne is just south and west of Lake George Village. It's just a 5-minute drive from Lake George Village, maybe a little bit longer than that, but definitely worth a visit. Steve, what about people who are looking for like distilleries?
Why would you think of me when you think of distilleries? I don't understand, but I guess I could help out a little bit.
Just a little bit, sure. Go ahead.
Springbrook Hollow Distillery. It distill whiskey. They got gin that's quite nice. A bourbon for bourbon drinkers. All those products make great gifts.
You can go in and taste, right?
Yes, you can go in and taste them first if you must. And then they also sell, which is kind of cool, their cocktail kits. And they seem to do very well with the holiday gift-giving season.
I don't know if they're still doing it, but they also did limoncello.
Oh, right. Oh, we should go and find out.
Yeah, I had that at their former location. And when I was just there over the summer, and I was driving, so I wasn't imbibing. And speaking of breweries, I'm a fan of Battle Hill Brewing in Fort Anne, which is also sort of a little south and east of Lake George Village. Really great beers made on premises. Great menu of snacks and other heartier fare.
A chicken sandwich to die for. Puts that fast food chain.
Who shall remain nameless.
Who shall remain latest. It's a shame. The chicken sandwich like blow your mind. It's that good. Brew great ales. Good selection of beer. It's a great place to stop in and have lunch or early dinner on your way either to or from Vermont. Very friendly staff. Very nice.
One of my favorite places in Lake George Village is Courthouse Gallery, which is in, as the name says, the courthouse in Lake George Village. They bring in regional artists and also people from outside the region, feature mostly contemporary work, and it's always a pleasure just to go in there. You could spend as much time as you want there, but if you're just looking for some place to go in a really beautiful space that overlooks Lake George, I highly recommend the Courthouse Gallery. They'll have stuff going on almost pretty much year round, so that's always worth a visit. And a little bit, if you're sick of shopping and want to do something that's a little different, I highly recommend that. And the other thing that I was surprised to learn in Lake George, the Lake George waterfront cruises actually offer cruises right up until New Year's Day. In fact, they have something called the Frostbite Cruise that takes place on New Year's Day, as long as the lake isn't frozen. And that time of year, the lake's not frozen yet. And something I'm sure you're going to be interested, Steve. They're doing a princess cruise.
Oh.
Yeah, you can dress up as your favorite princess.
Great.
And take a cruise around Lake George.
I think I'm going to miss that one.
Do you think you're going to do the polar plunge this year?
I might. I'm used to swimming in cold water. I could probably handle that.
Tell our listeners a little bit more about the polar plunge in Lake George, because that's
huge.
I don't know how long they've been doing it. But it's huge. Yeah.
There's a lot of people show up. And then, like any polar plunge, you run into the water. Most people run in and then run out. Some people go so far as to dunk their head, which I think is a requirement. And they have a limit per wave of people so that the lifeguards don't lose you out there and you drown. Because I think it's a couple hundred. I forgot exactly, but it's an ongoing event. It's a lot of places you'll see that they do it once, but it's a sort of a wave of plungers.
Yeah.
To say.
It's kind of chaotic, but for some people it's worth the bragging rights. It's not at the crack of dawn either, so you can enjoy your New Year's Eve.
Yes.
And it might be a good way to shock your system back into shape if you've been overserved on New Year's Eve.
Great way to open up your eyes.
Exactly.
And after doing that, there's still a Adirondack brewery and the Northway Brewing Company that'll help take the chill off afterwards.
We would be remiss if we didn't mention Bolton Landing, which is north of the village.
That has a brew pub too,
And a distillery. And great shopping too, and great restaurants. One of our favorites, Beyond the Sea, my favorite. And just is a really quaint I think one of the prettiest little towns in the Adirondacks. So that's worth a visit as well. Anything you think we missed, Steve?
Oh, I'm sure there is. Probably more than a couple things. We'll have to add them to our notes for next time.
So please visit adktaste.com. We break stuff down by region and by category of places to eat, stay, shop, and things to do. And of course, our events section lists sort of our recommendations of things to do. It's not an exhaustive list of everything there is to do in the Adirondacks. It's our curated recommendations, the best of the best. So if you're spending the holidays in the Adirondacks or just dreaming about it, we hope this gave you a festive roadmap.
And remember, every town up here has its own traditions. Find a small concert, stop at a family-run shop, grab a slice of pie, and hit a solstice walk. Or grab a beer somewhere. These are the moments that make the Adirondacks feel like home.
And if you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review ADK Talks. It helps more people discover the voices and places we love.
And for more Adirondack stories, guides, and holiday ideas, visit adktaste.com and subscribe to our newsletter.
Yep. We are always thrilled to see every week the number of subscribers grow. It's a great way to make sure you don't miss any insights, news, and our latest recommendations for things to do.
And we love your comments, which can be sent at info@adktaste.com.
That's a great recommend, Steve. We have been really so happy to see all the questions come in, especially after our Q&A that we did a few weeks ago. People seem to really dig that episode. So if you have questions, if we're talking too much inside baseball and you want to give us some feedback and explain something or go into more detail,
Sure.
Or maybe tell us not to go into so much detail, definitely send us an email at info@adktaste.com. So until next time, have a great day, whether you're in the Adirondacks or somewhere else.
Enjoy the weather.
Yep. Take care and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.